We're live. Holy fudge. Yeah. like,
Hey, someone grab the fire extinguisher.
oh, Jesus, right? Jesus criminy. So tonight we've got Deadpool, Kyle, on deck. We've got,
Howdy, howdy.
yep, and we've got Ranger, who ran a marathon last week, in case you guys were, like, not alive or something.
Somewhere under a rock.
Yeah, living under a damn rock. So,
Mm-hmm.
despite every expectation that I had, because there are plenty of other YouTubers out there speculating that Darth Malak was coming, like, Darth Month, and I'm like, no, they're not going to be that dumb. They're not going to release Darth Malak this close on the heels of Darth Revan. Wrong.
Are you
Uh,
live at the moment, man?
I should be.
Not
Am I
seeing
not
your event.
live?
The video's saying still unavailable.
Yeah. Did you make it public?
This mother. Yeah, it says privacy public. I see two watching. I
I don't see
see
it.
Takedown, JV420, Nev. You're live. Yep, you're live. What's up, guys?
That's weird. I'm not getting any kind of feed for it.
We can see you. Hello there from Sanely Red. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
That's
popping up
weird.
for me. It's like
Here. Let me send you
YouTube
guys.
strikes again.
Yep, I know. Seriously. Let me send you guys the link in Skype real quick.
Because I'm on your channel. Usually, if you go live, it'll pop up, but it's like
Hmm.
it's not showing live. It's really weird.
Check that one. See if that works.
So weird.
Yeah, that might have. I don't know. Any rate, I have no idea what the hell is going on right now. But yeah, so
There we go.
yeah, surprise. Darth Malak, he's here. Obviously, the reason that they released Darth Malak so soon after Darth Revan is
Money.
yes, they didn't want to give everybody more time to gear up all of the characters. So, if you have been living under a rock for the last 36 hours, they released a just out of the nowhere forum post detailing the Darth Malak event. It blindsided everybody in the community, even the gift changers, who should probably be more aptly titled forum changers. And so we're all like scrambling to make videos. I'm sure you've probably seen all the videos out there. All the other guys have put out like, oh my god, Darth Malak is gonna die. Oh my god, 17,500 GP. Oh my god. Freaking
I
out.
was,
That was
I'm
pretty.
just pissed off. I'm not freaking out. I'm just pissed off.
Well,
Not because I'm not going to get it, but because again they're doing this crap again, man. This is Thrawn times 3.
Yeah.
You know.
This is the Thrawn slash Revan slash Malik
Slash
slash
Revan slash
Chewies.
3PO slash Chewie all wrapped up into one, man.
Yeah.
They really
Got
bit
Jedi
the, they
training.
really bit the cake on this one, man. They went for it, man. I give CG credit, man. They got balls. They got balls, man.
This is
Big
true.
cojones.
This is
Grande
true.
cojones. Por favor.
Grande cojones. Por favor.
I mean, we got this announcement right before we went on live air. And I saw it, and I couldn't see anything because we had the ACS folks watching, so I had to keep the language clean. But I just felt my blood boiling. The things that I'm not upset about, I think the event's going to be cool.
Oh no, I'm sure the event's going to be wicked awesome. It's going to be.
I don't care that it's going to be
flippin'
difficult.
sweet.
I'm not worried about that. It should be difficult. But 29 hours, and then it's only a 2-day event.
Mm-hmm. They've given the community like somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 something hours, or like 40, maybe 44 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Grand total. It's going to be less than. Well, it might be closer to like 50 something hours once everything's said and done. From the second that forum post dropped to the end of the event, because that forum post dropped yesterday afternoon ish, right? Probably like what, around 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. We'll say.
5 p.m. their time. It
Okay.
dropped. I think it was right before we started streaming. We got the
Okay, so it's 5 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m.
yeah,
Central.
something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll say 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, or 2 o'clock. That gives them a 10-hour buffer from 2 o'clock in the afternoon till midnight. Right? Yes. Okay. So, 2 o'clock to 2 o'clock on Thursday. That's 24. Let me pull out a calculator because my mental math is probably just gonna.
We get the gist. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's not do the new math.
it's ridiculous though. I mean,
It
so
is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days plus 10 hours. So
Yeah.
it's not fantastic. It's not what you expect. Especially for an event that requires 2 journey characters, and 10 characters over 17,500 GP.
Or 4 out of the 5, so 8.
Well, you have to have Darth Revan and Jedi Knight Revan over 17,500
plus,
as well.
yeah,
So you have to
right,
have
right.
10
So, yeah, 10.
characters, 10 characters over 17,500 GP. Which with Darth Revan, and Jedi Knight Revan, obviously that's cake. That is beyond cake, because if you toss 3 Zetas on a Gear 9 character, they're over 17,500 GP.
Easily.
So I went ahead and threw all of basically the 9 characters that I have, because obviously I don't have Darth Revan, but the other 9 characters that I would need for that event, I actually put them on my favorites just so that I could go through them and check and see where I stood as far as the GP requirement, right? Darth Revan, obviously, 27,000 GP, too easy. Bastila Shan, 21,700 GP, easy. Jolie, 21,600 GP, easy. Zalbar, 20,700 GP. Mission, 20,000 GP. Bastila Shan Fallen, not even 7 stars yet, 17,800 GP. HK-47, 17,600 GP with neither Zeta, and his leader ability is still level 1. Oh, and Loyalty to the Maker, still level 1. So he's over 17,500 just like that, okay? And then Canderous Ordo, I would have to either put a Zeta on him or take him to Gear 12. I would probably just opt to put the Zeta on him had I had a Zeta ability available, because his Zeta is actually not that bad.
No, it's actually a real good Zeta.
It's not a bad Zeta. I will not regret. I'll just go ahead and put it on him anyway, just to be ready for Malak when he comes around the second time. Then Carthonasi. Once you take him to 7 stars at Gear 11 with the Zeta, he's over 17,500 GP. So,
oh yeah, mine's like at Gear 11, and he's with the Zeta. He's over 18,000.
yeah. So bottom line, if I had gotten Darth Revan, I would be able to get Darth Malak, because I've wasted a lot of gear in the last couple weeks on gearing up random crap like Jango Fett to 11, Range Trooper to 11. I've geared up several characters, so I would have been able to take Darth Revan probably to Gear 9, possibly to 10, depending on whether I could have actually farmed those pieces of gear that are Darth Revan unique, and now Darth Revan, Darth Malak unique. So there are several pieces of gear that I probably wouldn't have been able to possibly get, but Darth Revan, like I said, with 3 Zetas, which I had 3 Zetas saved up, I used them on random shit like Jango Fett, and I think I gave another one to Jedi Training Ray and Boba Fett. So I used 4 Zetas. I equipped 4 Zetas in just the last couple weeks. So I had plenty saved up, plenty stashed away for Darth Revan. So had I gotten Darth Revan, I would be ready to get Darth Malak. The problem there is that obviously I don't have Darth Revan. So, and I am a unique case. I am a unique case because as a free-to-play, I prioritized some of these characters because I saw their value. Mission and Zalbar, extremely good under a Kira lead squad.
Oh, yes.
Carthonasi, his Zeta, makes a Zalbar Mission Carth 3v3 squad pristine. Canderous Ordo works extremely well under a Carthonasi lead Mission Zalbar team. I was kind of banking on HK-47 being a 5th good piece for that Carth lead team. Ignorant me. assuming that HK-47 would get the Old Republic tag. Obviously, he didn't. So HK-47 got put up to Gear 12. Plus, we all knew that HK-47 was going to have synergy with Darth Revan, so I didn't have a problem taking him to 12. Bastila Shan Fallen. I knew that she would be good with Darth Revan because, hey, they kind of spelled it out. So I took her to 11. Obviously, Jedi Knight Revan, Bastila, Jolee, all good with Jedi. I mean, that's like the holy triumvirate of Old Republic Jedi. So obviously, they got taken up to Gear 12 because they're in my arena squad. So I geared up a lot of these characters completely ignorant of the fact that they would actually be required to be at this gear level to get Darth Malak. I mean, you can watch, well, probably not because I think they're still unlisted. You can go back and watch all of my stinking streams from the last 4 weeks, guys. What? How many times? How long have we been speculating how long it would be before Darth Malak showed up?
We were
and I
assumed
that it would be like June, right? So I did not. I mean, we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when. All of us just kind of assumed that CG would figure out something in the near future, some way when they finally did introduce the game or introduce Darth Malak to the game to get their money's worth. Well, this is how they're getting their money's worth. They're forcing players who, skirted by Jedi Knight Revan by the seat of their pants. Players who skirted by Darth Revan by the seat of their pants. I know some players that somehow managed to get Darth Revan with a Gear 8, Gear 9, and sometimes even as low as Gear 7 characters on the squad. So don't ask me how, but somehow they managed to pull that out of their ass. They somehow managed to get Darth Revan with under-geared characters. So now those players who were able to use strategy and skill to obtain Darth Revan are now being punished for that same strategy and skill instead of just using brute gear force to get these characters. So I think that's probably the most ridiculous part of this, is that they're requiring the gear levels or the GP. They're setting that GP requirement, which is unprecedented. So while had I gotten Darth Revan, I would probably be in a position to get Darth Malak. It's incredibly frustrating for me to look at this scenario and be happy about it, be excited about it. Yeah, I'm excited for the event because I'm actually going to be able to get to play through it, which, if any of you voted on my polls, I must thank you.
How are you going to play through the event? You don't have Darth Revan.
On my test account, my friend.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I keep forgetting you have the pimp
Welcome.
account.
Yes.
Welcome back, Ranger.
Yes. So
my ankle has made me gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean.
That's quite literally the only way I'm going to be able to play through that event. I will play through the Jedi Knight Revan portion tomorrow on my personal account, and then switch over to the test account. Plus, I've got to do the Flight of the Falcon event tomorrow. It's just so incredibly frustrating to be looking around at this and just, it's hard to be excited. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's, I just can't, it's just, I just can't even.
Well, I mean, there's good and bads. I mean, with this event being the way it is, it's obviously a cash grab. So anybody tells me that it's not a cash grab, you lost me, because there's a lot of players that are free to play Dolphins that are on that mid tier that just got Darth Revan, had to go through all the stuff for his gear, getting HK, Bastila, getting your gear up, and they've been farming so hard on Darth Revan that, the two characters, not so much the Revan characters that was recently used to get Darth Revan, because a lot of those have gear 10, 11, right? Because you had to have a high gear to beat that event for most of these characters. It's a lot of people are telling me it's, who it is that's catching them off guard? It's Mission and Zalbar. Because once you got Jedi Knight Revan, if you weren't focusing on the Kira stall team like you and me were,
Mm-hmm.
the reason mine are Gear 12 is because I wanted the Kira stall team. So I took them to Gear 12, put the Zeta on Kira, and I was getting ready to put the Zeta on Zalbar, and I still may. That's the two that are really getting people. There's somebody in the we had a big Discord chat about it yesterday. I was just letting people vent their thoughts on that. That was the one thing that was tripping a lot of people up with those two characters.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much the Revan characters, because a lot of them had them right there. It's those two that they hadn't really thought about, because you really weren't using for Jedi Revan, and if you weren't working on the Kira Stall team, then you didn't have them geared up. So that's the thing that really tripped them up. I think no one has a problem. I don't really have a problem with the 17,005. It's like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the short notice again.
Yes.
I think back of all the time CG has done this, and it's a blatant cash grab because it causes panic in the population. It may not cause panic for you, but it is going to cause people to make a tough choice. Do I invest some money and get this character, or do I not get it? What will be the consequences of not getting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're non-competitive, you don't care. Even if you do have Darth Vader, I'll be fine, right? If you are competitive and are in competitive guilds, there's just so many factors that go into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
CG's not stupid. They have the data and they know exactly what they're doing when they do it. My biggest issue that I've had with CG is it's not that they need to make money. God knows they need to make money. It's
exactly
how they go about doing it. And if I was their marketing person, I would fire every person that's on their marketing team right now, because perception of the community matters. And I'm seeing a lot of people quit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My initial reaction
Friends
was like,
of
"This
ours,
is BS." If he breaks the game, I'm quitting.
I had 3 shard mates quit today. These are day 1 players. I'm in a day 1 shard. I had 3 people quit today. They're done.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. No one in that shard has ever quit. That's the first time that it really, I mean, we've had people quit and come back and things like that. These guys are done. They left. They're done. Mm-hmm. These guys were top 5. They said, I can't do it anymore. And that completely took me by surprise. I was like, really? Wow. One guy's in my actual payout, and then another guy before, and then there was a guy earlier that has an earlier payout. He's like, I'm sick of this. And they're done. They're completely done. So this is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And I think CG is going to have to start learning that if you want to make money, there's better ways of doing it. I mean, they're a huge company that makes lots of money. Making money is not a problem, but how they go about it and the reaction from the community is just like, good Lord. I mean, they're publicists. I don't understand their strategy. It makes them money. They wouldn't do it if it didn't make money, right? But they think that if they keep panic farming and making money, that's all that matters. It won't if you don't have anybody to spend money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, people get tired of the same rigmarole of the same game. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Shame on us. We keep buying into this. We keep paying the money. I invested a little bit of money mainly because I'm a YouTube streamer and people want to see me suffer 6 hours, or I wouldn't do it. And I didn't really do anything much for Darth Revan, but I mean, I do it for the channel, just to stream it. It brings people joy and stuff, but I mean, my thing to the community, it's hard for me just to. I want to support CG, and I try to be as positive as I can about a lot of the stuff they're doing. And the problem with this is also that it takes away from the actual event itself that Malak is coming to the game because of how they're introducing it.
Yeah.
And if you take away from the event and how great it is, because people are all pissed off because of what you have to spend to get the damn character, then you've completely lost the point.
Mm-hmm. I've been a long advocate, as well as warrior, of actually of basically advocating for CG actually reducing the overall. I'm getting some bad feedback from you guys. Background.
Not me.
Yeah, it's the high ground, guys.
Someone else came in.
Yep.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Yep. We're getting some bad feedback from you guys.
Turn your speakers off. Came in.
Yep. Hey, can you guys hear us?
Yes.
We're getting some bad feedback. Yeah, I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do here.
You can't have your speakers on in the background, brother. You're gonna have to have headphones or something, or you're gonna get feedback.
Yep, I went ahead and mute you guys for just a second.
There you go.
Go ahead and unmute yourselves when you guys figure out the audio situation. But any rate, so Warrior and myself have long advocated for CG to actually reduce the overall cost of everything that they've added in game. The in-game content, I understand they got to make money. Makes sense. Perfect sense. Like you said, it's a business. It's a business model. The whole point of the game is to generate revenue for EA, for Capital Games. The people making this game got to get paid.
Yeah.
But these are not microtransactions. This is not a game based on microtransactions. True microtransactions are what you see in a game like Fortnite.
Right.
May it burn in hell. Fortnite is the kind of game that generates. Granted, it has millions of more players. I understand this. It's a global phenomenon, but it generates massive revenue because it doesn't charge players $400 for one piece of content. And I'm talking like you pay $250 for the character, you pay another $150 for the gear. These are macro transactions. Games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, these all base their business model on getting people to nickel and dime people. They nickel and dime.
Right.
They make their money on nickels and dimes, whereas CG makes their money on Benjamins. They Benjamin the shit out of players. And it's demoralizing because once upon a time, I spent money on this game. I spent way more than I would like to admit on this game. And it sucks that their business model is one that basically makes players like me feel like, well, I can't afford to invest hundreds, so why should I even invest 20? Because it doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. I'm not going to get Revan. So why should I spend $20 if I'm not going to get him in the first place? I'll just bide my time. I'll just bide my time and get him next time he comes around. So I haven't spent a dime on this game in a year and a half. So, I mean, they're pushing more and more people like me who used to spend, I was an avid Crystal subscription pack. I had that thing on lockdown. It was constantly streaming. And I haven't spent any money really since they got rid of it because there's no point. You know what I mean? I can get everything the second time around if I just take the time, focus farms, and focus my gear.
Yep.
It's too easy to play this game as a free to play if you don't focus on getting things first time around. That's why I'm not butthurt about Malak. I think the business practice of the way they're releasing Malak is a little shady, but overall, it is what it is. I mean, I can't even get him anyway because I didn't get Revan. So, yeah. I mean, players like me who just bide their time, yeah, I mean, I'm probably just going to keep trudging along in this game. High ground, you guys get your stuff figured out? You guys can unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. So,
yeah, I think we got it figured out.
Okay. All right.
Is that much better?
I am not getting any feedback right now. So
awesome, beautiful. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
I know. So what's up, guys? I see you guys are talking about Malak.
Yes, we're just kind of talking about how he got introduced to the game, how we feel about the way it was introduced, the short notice, all of that.
The short notice is definitely the worst thing because I'm a big fan of actually the way they're going about it for the most part, in the sense that you need Revan to get him. I think that's a cool way to unlock a character, especially someone that looks like he's going to be super OP. But this whole short notice, setting a precedence like this is scary to think of, what other future surprises they can drop on us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I think the problem is, like, at the end of the day, when Revan first came out, Jedi Knight Revan, to be totally honest with you, me and Exum both kind of just chuckled, because we thought it was hilarious how much of a cash grab it was. And in this situation, I find it pretty funny again because I know I'm not going to get him.
Yeah, 'cause
there's no way, and
chance.
I don't have Darth Revan, so I'm just laughing at this. And at the end of the day, you were alluding to it earlier. Look, it's a free-to-play player. It's a little frustrating because you know you're not going to be able to climb that high in arena. But at the same time, I really don't find the problem with just waiting 3 months, saving the $300, $400 that you're going to spend, and just getting him when he comes around. Plus, with all the stuff that's going to be coming out, like we got that teaser about the Clone Wars content, I think that missing out on Malak this first time around is going to be all right.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Until you see his kit, and you go,
Yeah,
oh,
I know,
my
right?
God.
Oh, this kid is an atrocity. We just did a video about it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I just looked at that like, well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Oh my God.
Which, you know, everybody in here watching the stream can go and check his kit. But the main highlights are the fact that he has an ability that starts on cooldown, 4 turns, big whoop, depending on how fast he is.
Basically like
Which I mean, yeah,
He's
which
fast.
he's gonna be fast because one,
He's
gonna
one
be.
speed
speed
lower
less
than
than-
Darth Revan.
Yeah, one speed
Yeah.
fast.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
even looked.
he's a
I haven't even,
tank.
That's ridiculous.
I haven't even looked at his speed yet, and so yeah, this is just a. Oh my
165, I believe.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his base.
He's got some of the highest
Health.
physical offense, health, protection. Like he's top 10 in almost everything.
Yeah.
And
Like-
how is this not?
Oh,
OP?
here.
Oh my God.
Hell, dude.
Jesus
It is
H. Christ.
fine.
Okay, so I
Happy.
haven't looked at his stats, but I did look over his kit. I looked over it, and holy mother of pearl. Yeah, Jesus H. So I hadn't even looked at his kit, and so the main thing is he's a taunting tank. He doesn't have a hard taunt, but his taunt mechanic works off of
It's Scion on
other.
steroids.
Yeah, it works off
that's
of
exactly
enemy
right.
players.
It's like Nihilus put together.
Yeah, it works off of other players being afflicted by fear or shock, which if you're playing with Malak under Darth Revan, because obviously you've got Darth Revan if you've got Malak because it's required. So you're running Malak with Darth Revan, and you're running Basilishan Fallen because you're not an idiot. And your enemies are immediately as soon as that ball starts rolling, your enemies are going to be inflicted with shock and or stun, which means Darth Malak is going to be taunting. He's pretty much going to be perma-taunting. And there's no way to get around it, because even if you inflict damage over time or critically hit him, you're also inflicted with fear, which triggers taunt. So he also takes reduced damage from percent health damage effects. Okay, cool. Kylo 2.0, 3.0, I guess. And loses all protection, gains that much health. So basically just like a Nihilus lead, which only helps to feed his health regeneration because he has no protection, so he doesn't have to focus on protection regen. He focuses entirely on health regen. So once he drops down to 75% health, he has 35% crit avoidance, so he's harder to crit. Health steal, tenacity, and defense. So he gets tankier, harder to inflict debuffs on, and and by the way, he heals himself.
Still to begin with.
Yes, he has crazy high health steal to begin with. Oh, and by the way, his big ability, whatever the hell it's called, Drain Life. Oh yeah, the cooldown on that gets reset once he drops below 75% health. So he's going to use that ability on his next turn, and oh, by the way, inflict damage equal to 100% of your enemy's max health, not just, you know, what they've got left. It's 100% damage equal to their 100% of their max health, and then recover health equal to the damage dealt. So he's going to go back over to 75%. Oh, and if you did manage to drop him down to 50%, oh, the cooldown gets reduced again. He's going to be extremely hard to kill. Not to mention the fact that his 35% doubles to 70% once he drops below 50% health, and then triples to 105% at 25% health. So he's got 105% health, steal, tenacity, defense, and crit avoidance once he's below 25% health, and the cooldown on Drain Life is reset. So he's going to have 105% plus his base health steal plus the 100% the health equal to the damage dealt on Drain Life. So Drain Life is potentially going to heal for I don't even. It's just ridiculous, basically.
If you're attacking a GK, a super well modded one, it's gonna heal you.
Yeah,
like,
it's probably going to
completely.
heal
Yeah.
Malak almost completely.
Yeah.
It's absurd. So you're going to have to inflict healing immunity, so shock or healing immunity, on Malak to beat him. The problem is that his tenacity goes up to 105%. So if you mod Malak for tenacity, all of a sudden
He should be good to go.
you're gonna be hard. It's gonna be virtually impossible to inflict tenacity
Really
or
only
any
takes
debuffs on him. Like the only way you're going to be able to get around that is inflicting tenacity down on him, which will help negate that a little bit. But still, it's just, oh my god, his kit's gonna be ridiculous. He's obviously going to be run with Darth Revan, Basilishan Fallen, and HK-47. The fifth character there is pretty much just going to be dealer's choice.
I think it's gonna be Sith Trooper, and I don't think that just because of the synergy that they said, but just because now you're gonna have two tanks that are constantly taunting, because you're gonna have him taunting with all the shock and all the fear, and then you have Sith Trooper every time a special ability by one of these fellow Sith is used. So you just have these two tanks that you have to get through before you can even get to the other three.
We're just wailing your ass the whole time.
Yeah, because this isn't an average tank. Like Sith Trooper doesn't hit you. This guy's gonna hit you though.
Yeah, this guy is going. I mean, and they. The
only way that I was like contemplating trying to get around, I get this drain life ability that, I mean, it looks absolutely absurd, is to, and we spoke about this on the video. The only way that I could see trying to get around it is let's put a crap ton of protection on a unit, because this doesn't go through protection. You have to knock that out, and let's minimize the health that we're putting on these people. So let's try to find new ways to mod characters to try to limit the amount of damage that he's doing. That's the only way that I could see. Let's load him up with 90,000 protection, 80,000 protection. Let's give him a 30, 40 base health, and let's try to see how we can mitigate the amount of damage that he's going to be doing. Because if not, he's just going to be wiping you out the entire time. That's the only way I see you getting around that.
I have a feeling that that mechanic's actually going to be broken in the game. Like it's almost like a guaranteed. Like I have a feeling like that'll end up getting fixed within a couple days. Oh yeah, Malik's ability is not working correctly. Here it is.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know. You know, hit chat. Everybody's been going crazy in chat, and I feel bad because I haven't really been talking to any of you guys in chat. So let's see, Candrace. I'm just kind of skimming through chat, so give me a sec. Potency boost. Oh yeah, Basilishan got a potency boost. Her new ability.
Her
synergy with Jedi Knight Revan is pretty nice. If you haven't, like I said, read any of the news, basically, if Jedi Knight Revan's in the leader slot, Basila and Jedi Knight Revan have 70% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. And Jedi Knight Revan also recovers protection from Legendary Battle Meditation. If Darth Revan is on the enemy squad, Basila gains advantage retribution beginning at the start of Darth Revan's turns. Not really huge, but I mean it helps out a little bit. It's not a game changer, I don't think. It just is what it is. Let's see what else.
Kind of makes her useless outside of a Revan team. A little bit useless.
She's still good. I mean, it's an ability that she didn't have before. She was good before outside of a Revan team. It's just now that ability is not going to be useful. It's going to be useless outside of a Revan team. But pretty much just that ability is useless. Just like Basilishan Fallen. I mean, the Force Bond with Darth Revan. It's same thing.
I'm wondering how much that little tweak to Jedi Basileia is going to affect those Revan teams that won't have Malak. Is it going to make it harder to defeat them? It's just something I'm wondering. I mean, that team is so well designed to counter Jedi Knight Revan that Darth Revan still shouldn't have a difficulty. But that set plus 70% tenacity is something you have to fight with now.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Let's see. Hitting chat here. Sorry. In the HDR project, multiple people were saying they were selling their accounts. Some shardmates quit. People on GRDS said they're biased. Yep. Difficulty of the event could cause a problem. If people get all the characters 17.5 but can't unlock Malak because they're not at Gear 12 plus. It is gonna suck. Anyone know how to sell transfer Game Center iPhone? I will not advocate any of that because it's against terms of use. Let's see. Hellenix basically just echoing the whole, there's not really any point in being a dolphin anymore. It's just not worth it. Not worth your time.
Unless you can get ahead of the creep.
Exactly.
Unless you can
bad.
You can get ahead of the creep, and have stuff saved and crystals and stuff to be able to react to it. But with everything there, I can't get back to where I was because I'm having to farm gear and all this other stuff, and it's nuts, man.
Well, I was able to actually get ahead of the creep by being a dolphin, I guess you could say, on the Darth Revan event. I was able to drop $70 and get Darth Revan, and now I'm able to finish top 10, top 5 right now but it was the first amount of money I had spent in over a year in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like that, if you're free to play, right? Like for me, I had over 30,000 crystals, right?
Yeah.
That I used to get the characters up, and then I hoarded all my gear and Zetas. That's all bye-bye. Because, once you work on Revan, HK, and Basil alone, I mean, plus the characters you needed to invest to get them to gear 11, I mean, when I say I went through 1,000 Carbantes, I'm not kidding. I went through 1,000 Carbantes like it was nothing. And I'm like, wow, I had them, and now they're gone. Now I don't even have 5. It's like, oh my God. And
no, you're right. You're right. I had done the math beforehand, and it was over 1,000 Carbantes to save up.
Yeah. And so now I'm at that point where it's like, I'm trying to get these characters now. Malak's coming in, so I'm going to have to go heavily into him to at least gear 11, right? And there's going to be, we didn't even talk about gear 8, gear 9 again. Here we go. You're going to have to farm that up, which is what it is. But it's crazy because, I was working on these characters anyway, but you keep shifting back to something, and you can't go back to what you're working on unless you just say, screw it, I give up, I want to work on these characters.
Someone tweeted out to myself and McMull the gear requirements for Darth Malak, and at the top of the he's going to need 4 stun guns. One of those is probably a Mark 5 stun gun, I believe, or Mark 6 stun gun, sorry. The gold stun gun to take him to 12. So 150 stun guns. We'll say that. Or 3 stun guns before Gear 12, probably. 200 Mark 3 Carbonti, 200 Mark 6 thermal detonators, 200 Kyrotech battle computer prototypes, so that's the new stuff. 200 of the Mark 7 Kyrotech shock buds, again, the new stuff. He's going to need 2 of the yellow gold eyeballs, 2 of the Mark 7 Nubian security scanners, and that's just what I can see off this one screenshot. So his gear requirement is going to be atrocious. So that's like the only saving grace is that for us, is we probably won't see Malak in probably the first... Well, obviously, we're not going to see Darth Malak. Well, okay, I won't say we're not, because it's going to be very unlikely that we see Darth Malak in this grand arena that we are in right now. That's starting right now. Unless somebody completely wails out on the gear and everything else, and really wails out, you might see a Darth Malak in your grand arena, the one that's currently open right now. So go join it. I do not think we are likely to see Darth Malak in the next Grand Arena after this one. If we do, I would be very surprised. So it'll probably be a few weeks before we start to see Darth Malak creeping into Grand Arena, creeping into Territory Wars, creeping into your actual squad arenas. So, assuming that obviously they're not going to put out the Darth... Well, okay, I'm not going to put anything past CG at this point. I'm not expecting, because I'm not going to say they're not going to, because they'll prove me wrong and do it just to spite me. I know they don't, because they don't watch my streams. They don't give a shit about me. But I think it's very unlikely that we will see the Darth Malak event again before the next Darth Revan event, which, if history is anything, it'll be another 3.5 months before the Darth Revan event starts again. So we've got about 3.5 months of Darth Revan with, I would say probably, Ranger, would you say that maybe 60% of the people with Darth Revan will be capable of getting Darth Malak by the end of this 2-day period? Or
No,
would you even say that many?
I don't think it's going to be that many.
I think it's a smaller number too.
Okay,
Yeah.
So would you put that at like maybe 40%?
30%.
I say 30, yeah.
You
30%.
think only a third of the people who got Darth Revan are going to get Darth Malak?
You got a lot of people upset too.
Well,
People that don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Especially with I mean, we know there's other stuff coming. Like this is another Chewbacca or another. Who's the other guy the Grievous? This is another thing that they're throwing at the beginning of the month. That at the end of the month, there's gonna be something bigger. So.
Well, we got the road ahead, so we know that we got which we call us like saying we were right, miss. You, me, and Finn. We've been saying it forever. Geonosis territory battle. What? It's coming.
I know. I went back and I had to go and check my the video I did for DB Official where I talked about what I thought they would do, and 2 months ago I called Geonosis territory battle. So
We may be dumb, but we're dumb.
I
So
may
I'm
not
just
be
throwing it
as
out there.
smart, man.
But I know what territory battles are, Chadney. But we got Reworks coming out the ass.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we know that Anakin Squibs and GK are getting reworks. There's going to be a lot more characters for this. Going to be introduced from the territory battle. New characters that you'll need for the territory battle. Reworks for the characters that exist. I'm glad that they're doing Anakin, Kenobi, and Ahsoka to work together, and I'm glad they're reworking their stuff. But for the love of Christ, can we just listen, CG? If you're listening, and I hope you are, fix Ace mother effing Windu.
That's a bold expectation on my stream, buddy.
Well, I know they listen. Well, I said it on ours, so it's fine. But I mean, seriously, get Mace right. Put Vapehead on there. Give him Shatter. Quit farting around and fix him.
Give him a shatter point that actually works.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, a shatter point that ignores taunt.
I mean, it
Yeah.
breaks. Mine's
At
gear
least
11.
guarantees an exposed to drop. Like
I mean,
that, I think that's the biggest issue with that ability. If it had 100% chance of dropping an exposed, it would be so much.
Yeah.
Like that would actually be a huge improvement for him.
Yeah, it would. It would. It would actually be a pretty decent. It wouldn't be bad.
I mean, come on. Can we? But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of reworks in the next few months as we ramp up for episode 9. So I think the rest of the year we're going to get a lot of reworks, maybe some new characters, mid-tier level characters. I think episode 9 is going to be a big deal. We're going to get new versions of Rey, Kylo Ren. I'm hoping maybe the Knights of Ren. Sage, you hear this name? Knights of Ren?
No, they won't give us cool shit like that. They won't give us cool shit like that.
Inquisitors, maybe. Rebels.
Well, no. So that actually, great segue into the actual Road Ahead blog. So Carrie spent like the majority of the Road Ahead blog talking about the past and stuff. It doesn't really have anything to do with the actual road ahead, which was like a small portion of the actual road ahead. So, as you already touched on, they're going to be doing a lot of work with the Clone Wars. They're going to rework JKA again. This is actually the second time JKA has been reworked, and as well as Ahsoka Tano. General Kenobi may actually be getting that elusive Zeta that we've been expecting. Ahsoka Tano will likely get a Zeta, as well as Jedi Knight Anakin. Let's go ahead and take a look at those two little monsters here. They were actually one of the first synergy pairs in the game. I don't know if they were before Wigs, but they were one of the first two characters to actually get synergy with each other. So Righteous Fury has room for a Zeta here. Whenever another say again.
I said I think it was after Wigs.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, because they got the rework right around HAT, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I remember. I made a video on it. God only knows how bad that video is, but I made a video on it back in the day when Jedi Knight Anakin, because I advocated a lot. I advocated very heavily for a Jedi Knight Anakin rework, and so when it actually happened, I was ecstatic. I can probably find those, dig them up out of the archives, and link them somewhere. So Righteous Fury is only a level 7 ability. His leader ability is 8, 8, 8. Okay, so he has room for a Zeta on his unique, but we've seen that CG is not above completely reworking an ability in its entirety and just completely changing it from the ground up. The other thing to take away here is with Snips here, who I unfortunately only have at gear 10. I need to probably take her to gear 12 here, knowing that she's going to get reworked. Her unique is also 7, so I could see them very easily giving Ahsoka Tano, Jedi Knight Anakin, and I believe, isn't it General Kenobi's unique is also a level 7 ability?
I don't know if it's 7 or 8. I have to look.
Sorasu, yes, is a level 7 ability. So all three of these characters have a unique ability that can receive a Zeta upgrade at CG's discretion. I would not be surprised in the slightest if these three characters all got Zetas added to their uniques that gave them crazy stupid synergy. Probably one of those situations where they all share each other's uniques. I could see that happening. Whenever obviously General Kenobi is not going to share the whole taunt part, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jedi Knight Anakin and Snips also get 65% chance to gain foresight at the end of their turns through Sorasu, and then General Kenobi and Snips also getting 100% turn meter when another ally drops below 100% health. And then for Ahsoka Tano sharing her unique, which I believe gives health based on her core stats. Yes. 45% health, 45 speed, and 15% critical chance. When critically hit, she loses one effect. When she defeats an enemy, she regains all of them. If Jedi Knight Anakin is president. If he's present, Ahsoka.
I'm the president. I learn the power.
Jesus Christ. Ahsoka gains crit hit immunity for 2 turns at the start of each encounter, and whenever she uses a special ability. I could see, if Jedi Knight Anakin and General Kenobi are present, they gain crit hit immunity for 2 turns at the start of each encounter and whenever they use a special ability. I don't think they're going to give JKA and Kenobi 45% more health. I mean, holy crap. Could you imagine a Kenobi with 45% extra health and 45 extra speed? God, that'd be crazy.
Gross.
And then 15% critical chance. That's I could understand that. That might not be OP, but that could. I mean, I could see these uniques being shared between all three of the characters. That would be really cool. I think that's an easy way to give them a soft rework without making them crazy OP. Obviously, they would need some stat boosts because Ahsoka Tano does not hit hard. She kind of hits like a wet noodle. In fact, let me go ahead and swap out Jedi Knight Anakin. Actually, let's just run an old school Jedi team here. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Watch them die.
I know, right? Let's throw in some Barris here. Actually, let's throw in. Let's do Masters and Padawan here. Where are you? There you are, Snips. Sorry. And take out Hermit Yoda. Throw in General Kenobi. All right. So they obviously need some attention. In fact, I'm probably gonna lose against these Night Sisters. You're
gonna die.
I didn't even look to see what
You're
these
gonna die,
Night Sisters.
clown.
I know. Oh god, this is gonna be bad.
Boom.
Oh yeah, that was a sick
Oh,
$8,000 crit, bruh. Oh my god.
Bruh.
Oh, dude, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Boom, a sick 5,600 crit. Oh man, that was so badass. You don't even know. You don't even know. Oh my god, this is laughable. Oh, there we go.
It's getting problematic here on
It
Mr.
is.
String.
It is. We're gonna lose here. Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Oof. It is bad.
Your 3 zombies.
But this time I misrealized he fucked up.
Yep.
You done messed up, AA Ron.
The only thing I got. Ooh, snap.
I can't watch this. It's so brutal.
Ahsoka just ate it.
Oh my god, not Squibs. Squibs, no.
You just
Let's
said
see.
squibs.
It's
What the
it's
hell?
it's
Oh no. She's so squishy.
They're all so squishy, except GK. Well, no, Ayla has.
Oh god.
Quite a
God.
my Ayla's not that bad.
Just time out.
It's
No.
Oh wait, never mind.
God. Oh, that's brutal. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh.
so
Admit
Oh,
it.
there goes.
yeah, snips, not squibs.
Oh,
I like to call her Squibs when she's getting destroyed like that.
And boom.
I thought you were gonna say something.
Squishy. Well, I took Snips
Boom.
and then I put Squishy and I just said Squibs.
So there you go. And this
Oh,
wasn't
my
even.
God.
We're talking a Gear 9 Daka, Gear 9 Zombie, Gear 9 Talzin, Gear 9. Not even an
Oh,
Acolyte. This was an
my
Initiate.
Jeez.
And Gear
Oh, my
10
God.
Asajj just took out.
Oh no, the high ground says our
And it
spec
was an-
left out. Playing hanging with everyone. We got to get them on. High ground, if you're listening, you need to get with us. We'll put you on our sheet, man. We got to get you guys rolling, man.
It was
Send
an
me your-
old Daka lead at
Send
that.
me a message on Discord, homies. Oh god, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it
I
was
That was
ugly.
actually funny as hell. It was hell.
Yeah. So there you go. Pretty evident that all these characters really need some love. No, Jedi Knight Anakin is not that bad. I've seen Jedi Knight Anakin
Oh, he's pretty
run
good.
rather successfully in Grand Arena, quite often. So he is not a bad character. And then, I mean, you look at this, and I just bring in Jedi Knight Revan and absolutely melt face here. Boop, dead. Boop. I'm gonna boop you on the head.
Have you seen my lightsaber and what it can do?
I don't think Yoda
And-
actually boops. He more like forcefully crushes your skull.
It's true. Yeah, I mean,
I am wondering why are you here?
so when it comes to, but then the rest of the road ahead here. So the territory battle in Geonosis. So if you look at the map, which the map is pretty cool. It's a work in progress.
They took it from Battlefront 2.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, see, I don't play Battlefront 2 that often, so
I
it's
do.
almost carbon copy. I
It
noticed
really
that.
is. It's this Battle Geonosis from Battlefront 2, man.
Oh, okay. All right. So they
If you
straight.
start that very far right is the droid factory where it's exploded. If you go back and watch, I've done enough Battle Geonosis and Battlefront 2. I was looking at that today. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold
Wait
on.
a
Come
second.
on. Oh, jeez. Oh,
Okay.
come on, y'all. Jeez.
All right. So let's see here.
But it's all under EA's umbrella, so. But it is Geonosis. It looked a lot of very familiar with how the battle progressed in the Battlefront 2 battle, because you start near the droid factory, then you go to the tanks because you got to get them going, then you get the tanks going, and then you go attack the ships, and then you got to blow the ships down, and then you got to move on to the big ship where you're trying to blow it out of the sky. So I was like, hey.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this up on the screen real quick. The territory map from Geonosis. All right, so if you look at the left side, right side, and yeah, you can tell where they basically just ripped it and just pasted it on top of the holo table. Okay, yeah, now that you mention it, it is, yeah, completely hilarious. But so stay with me here. If we look at the map from left to right, obviously it looks kind of like you've got the more separatist faction, more separatist-centric on the left side of the map, with more God, Jesus, I'm brain farting here.
Republic.
Yeah, it's Galactic Republic. Thank you. Centric on the right side of the map. What I think would be an awesome execution of the Geonosis map would have a maybe not a 6-phase, but a 5-phase or maybe a 7-phase. I don't see a 7-phase really being fun, though. Maybe 5 phases. Make it just a little bit shorter than all the other territory battles, and start each phase alternating left side, right side, and make each side light side or dark side. So the more separatist / Geonosis or dark side centric on the left side of the map, say that's phase 1. Phase 1, you're using your dark side teams to fight against the Galactic Republic and fighting the Galactic Republic back to their side of the map. And then on the phase 2, you take the Galactic Republic and you're taking your light side forces and fighting against separatists and droids to fight them towards their side of the map. And then day 3, phase 3 would be back on the left side, and now you're moving in towards the center of the map. And then day 4 is the 4th phase, and you move one stage closer to the center of the map. And then the last day culminates with just light side, dark side battles. You've got a mass of combat missions that are, this requires light side, this requires dark side, and you're fighting forces on the same day for the center of the map for ultimate control or whatever. Obviously, it's not going to be like, defeating the Empire or defeating the Rebels, but I could see it being kind of fun if they did something like that, or maybe have it 6 phases, and instead of that last day being all light and dark, having just kind of the middle sides of the map being light side then dark side on 5 and 6. What do you guys think?
Big gun the Clone Wars has.
That would be kind of shorten it and not have to do both sides of each would be.
I say we have one big battle, go in, win, and then that's it.
A 1 day territory battles where everybody has to do where everybody's got to do 17 combat missions and
get your monkey ass in there, do like 8 combat missions, 1 special, get your loot, get the hell out.
Oh God, you know how many? It's hard enough to get people to participate in 1 day of 1 phase of territory battles. Getting people to participate in 6 days worth of territory battles in 1 day, God. Whew, they would have to make it like a 48-hour territory battle.
Well, yeah, give you 2 days to beat it.
Give you 2 days to beat it? Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being all right.
Orange with you cannot be done.
Yeah.
It'll probably be multiple phases, different teams, special missions,
Yeah.
save the Jedi out of the arena pit, and all this other stuff. So, yeah, but we're gonna need it because God bless America, I'm gonna need all that event token crap coming up soon to get my Malak done faster because gotta farm him out of their store. So gear is no longer a priority.
Yeah, I've stopped. I won't be buying any more gear out of the guild event store. I've already kind of determined that I don't need gear out of there right now in order to get Darth Malak when he does come back around. I'll just kind of start stockpiling gear. I mean, I got my range trooper to gear 11. That's kind of where I was wanting to get him. I might take Embo to gear 11. I think he's a couple pieces short of gear 11. Let me go back and check this real quick. See where I'm sitting with Embo. I know he's at 10. Okay, yeah, I haven't equipped any of the gear at gear 10, so I could take him to 11 just because he's good. Start stockpiling my Zetas again. I don't think... honestly, I was farming Marauder and was thinking about gearing him up, but I don't think I will. I think I'm going to gear up Magma Trooper, though, because Magma Trooper, I have found that if I were to gear up my Magma Trooper, it would free up... it would give me a much more versatile squad in Grand Arena. So I'm working on that. Other than that, honestly... I still need another stupid territory battle to get my last several territory battle stars so that I can finish this stupid phase 3 of this Sith Master Quest. And then I think I need another Sith at gear 12, which I don't think that's going... I was going to think about taking like Darth Sidious to gear 12, but I'd be better served by taking Basilishan Fallen to 12. So, in the amount of time that it'll take to win 3 territory wars or whatever it is for the Sith Master achievement, once that actually comes up, I'll be able to take... I'll have Basilishan to 7 stars, and then I'll just focus on taking her to 12, and that'll be my 10th Sith to gear 12. So, I'll be able to finish that quest and get my Sith Master tag, but... I'm not going to be spending gear anymore. Holy shit, Gesundheit.
Ow,
That sounded like it
Sorry,
hurt.
that came
Holy
out of nowhere.
crap.
I actually had a little blood come out the nose, so that's...
Oh my
that's not
god. Jesus, you're allergic to marathons.
good. I'm allergic to doing marathons, not the actual marathon itself. Just thinking about it brings back painful memories. Oh, my...
How's your ankle feeling?
Yeah.
It's the big pile of meat, but it's better. So, holy crap. That's going to be a while before I do something like
normal?
that. I am walking normally, yeah. And so the swelling's gone. The pain's still there, but it's not as bad. I've been icing and putting heat on it and putting all kinds of stuff on it. So, yeah.
So what happened to you?
I did the marathon. My ankle swelled up like a balloon. What do you want me to say?
Well, I didn't know if you twisted your ankle or something.
Yeah, his ankle was pretty swollen from what I saw on the camera, and you got barely a glimpse of it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Sucks.
So, but it was worth it. We raised a ton of money and had a good event. So
that's wicked awesome.
The pain was worth it.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. But if you want to see on Facebook, I've got great video. It's on YouTube, actually. You can go to our YouTube and just...
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I digress. Let's get back to the game. No one cares about my...
So, speaking of Grand Arena, though, we've got the Grand Arena Championships. So it sounds like they're going to possibly increase a tiered system. Which honestly, if they were to kind of work this into hey, players who win these arena challenges or whatever, will be placed in higher tier brackets. maybe that'll kind of separate the people at the same GP who has, hey, this player's got Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Malak. Okay, that person's going to, naturally progress through these challenges easier. They'll move up into a higher tier. These players who don't may not progress if they're not as skilled, and might help kind of separate the fields a little bit, so that the players who have Revan, Malak, both Revans, Malak, and higher numbers of Gear 12 or way more speed mods or whatever the hell they come up with to filter these out. Maybe those players who are at that, more strategic with how they spend their resources instead of just gearing everybody to 7 or 8 and leveling everybody to 85. Maybe they'll try and separate the fields a little bit so that you're not getting mismatched with, while your GP may be the same, not as efficient of a roster, which I like to think that my roster is fairly efficient. I did lose in the finals on this last round, mostly just bad RNG. My Nest lost against a Gear 9, 10, and 11 Phoenix squad because Sabine got way too many armor shreds on my Nest, and somehow at 180% tenacity I got dazed. Stupid. And so she landed way too many armor shreds, and at the beginning of one of my turns, no bonus protection, she landed like a 45,000 crit on my Nest and killed her. So bad RNG for me. So I lost that round. He one-shot all of my teams. It was a good matchup. I beat two players with Darth Revan to get into the finals, so I was happy with that. I was happy taking second place, not a big deal. But maybe this championship system, the tiered brackets for Grand Arena, might help weed out some of that chaff, I guess. Kind of separate the players into tiers. And then, of course, they're at Star Wars Celebration, big whoop. Your thoughts on the Grand Arena championships?
Yes.
Oh. You like it. You like it. You approve. Ranger approved.
Well, I mean, for those that are competitive, it'll give them something to fight for. Mm-hmm. Those that don't give a crap just won't give a crap. You know, and we've seen it so many times. I've had so many matches where it's like, well, they didn't put any defense down because this team shouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. So I think there's some competitive people out there, that are going to go for it. Of course, there may be some cheaters. I think this should just be for bragging rights. I think there should be some rewards, but it should not be so good that people will cheat to do it. And if the CG has to be very careful about monitoring that and looking for people that are hacking and cheating and stuff like that. Because, for me, I could care less. I mean, I'll do well in it, but I don't care if I get top.
They're gonna they're gonna have to make the rewards for being in those higher tier brackets worth it, because otherwise you're going to have
so over worth it.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna have people getting real pissed if they're like, oh, at the top tier you get 10 zetas for winning this bracket, but if you are down at the bottom tier you only get 2 zetas for winning. 1 zeta for the middle of the pack and 0 zetas for everybody who finishes or last place. That would be pretty effed up. They're going to have to make the rewards worth it so the players aren't intentionally sandbagging the same way they do during territory wars. So it's going to be a fine balance. Hopefully they can find that balance, and hopefully I don't run into too many Malaks in Grand Arena, because I might just set God mode defense and just take my loss. Especially if Malak is just stupid good, which we will find out tomorrow. That's my intent. So I put out my polls yesterday, or today. Sorry, God, I'm already living in the past. I put out my polls today, and overwhelmingly, a lot of people were like, yes, we want to see Malak. Yes, we want to see Malak. Show us Malak. Show us Malak, you dumb asshole. So, I will be streaming again tomorrow night. We will be doing the event. Unfortunately, they changed the time zone on the start of the event. Otherwise, it would be going on right now, and we could do it. In other news, similar to changing time zones, they changed an entire day of the release of the Flight of the Falcons. So that event will also be tomorrow. I was hoping to, maybe have a little bit of fun
CG.
and play through that, but, typical CG, moving everything to the right. Not surprised. Why should you be? Yeah. So tomorrow.
As long as you play the music from the asteroid chase, da, 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 we get the Falcon.
God damn it. No.
No.
Please.
Yes, do it.
Nope.
No.
Oh. Nope.
Or you just have me in the background just going da 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 da.
Yep. Hellenix makes a good point. Being competitive helps a lot. I don't think I could sandbag even if I wanted to. I know I say that I would just set God defense and just call it a day, but I probably wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I have been matched up against some very difficult opponents. The opponent that I did lose against in this last matchup had pretty much evenly matched on mods. He had basically the same ratio of 11 and 12, except he had it weighted to more towards 12s, whereas my roster is weighted more towards 11s, Gear 11 characters. He had, I believe, only 2 fewer Zetas than I do, where normally I out-Zeta my opponents by like 12, 14, 16. I think the most Zetas I've had, like, in excess of my opponent was like 19 Zetas more than my opponent, which shows you just how fluffy their freaking roster was.
Fluffy.
Oh my god, it was fluffy.
And
It's so
they also might be
fluffy!
like
Say again.
early or newer whales.
Yes, new whales who just go straight for Gear 12.
Yeah, they go straight for Gear 12, but you can't buy Zetas.
Nope, you can't buy Zetas.
You can't buy mods.
Nope.
Or mods, really.
You have to farm that shit.
Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, there's the mod store, but that,
Doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
You got to get that luck on that RNG.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
right.
I have been fairly... I normally so very rarely do I have more Gear 12s than my opponent. That just very rarely happens. But I usually have like 15, 20 more Gear 11 plus 12 than my opponent. My opponents usually have like 15 more Gear 12, sometimes 20 more Gear 12 than I do. Like, I have like 30 something Gear 12, and sometimes I'll run into opponents that have like 50 something Gear 12s. And then they have like 20 Gear 11s or 26 Gear 11s, whereas I have like 30 something Gear 12s, but like 50 something Gear 11s. So I have a lot of Gear 11s on my account. Not as many Gear 12s. My opponents usually have more gear in the way of Gear 12s versus 11s, but then not as many Zetas. Sometimes I usually have a speed edge, but not all the time. So when I do get a good matchup, it's more fun. It is more fun to have a good solid matchup where you're not like, oh my god, this guy is going to completely mop the floor with me. So Grand Arena is honestly one of the only fun parts of the game left anymore. Yeah, no copywritten music. I can't be throwing the Astro Chase in there. I'll just have Ranger give his rendition. That shouldn't pop any copyright. I'll just have Ranger there the whole time, just giving his little.
I'm in a weird bracket, and I get rosters that like will have single digit Gear 12s, and it'll be all fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Or like last round, I actually I've run into it twice, where I've run into opponents that have more Gear 12s than I do. Now since Grand Arena has come out, I've leaned down on my fluff, and I'm usually one of the more tougher opponents in GA now. And my last or the second round in last GA, I faced someone that had 50 gear 12s, and I currently have 32. Yeah, 50 gear 12s at 3.4 million GP, and he had two more Zetas than I did.
Wow.
So he's just a really focused dude, and that's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I only lost the match by like I think 6 points.
Hmm.
So he had a lot more gear 12s.
Mm-hmm.
I closed the gap with gear 11 between gear 10 and 11s.
Fair enough.
Because everything else after gear, I think he had like 15 gear 11s, and then the rest were like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ish.
Yeah, that can make it rough. That can make it really rough.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was sweating bullets the whole time.
um. So did you beat that guy, or did he?
No, I lost by like 6 points, I think it
Ugh,
was.
that sucks. That
And
really sucks.
he even commented, he's like, dude, I didn't think you would put up that good of a fight. And I was like, well, it's not all about just
It's not
raw
all about gear. It's
gear
not just
12.
yeah.
It's knowing how to use your roster too. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the most important thing is knowing how to use your roster. And I'm very good at using my roster.
Yeah, that's something that I need to get a little bit better at. Trying to come up with hodgepodge teams that I can
Oh
use
yeah.
to save some of my the more important characters on my roster. For example, my opponent this last time, he had Treya, and I probably could have come up with a better roster or better team than I did um, to beat it, but I just didn't. So switched over to my test account here.
That's actually what I did in the first round too. I underestimated a Zal team, and I was like, I'll pick on them with this team. And I was like, yeah. 3 battles later, I was like, shit, I might need this.
Didn't go the way I expected. Holy
So,
crap!
but the dude went full defense, and I was like, he ain't gonna clear me. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the last team. I was throwing stuff at it. I was like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But and that happened in the second round as well. I think he had like 12 gear 12s, but he went I think he went pretty heavy offense, and the teams he had wouldn't have been able to beat what I had ahead laid. So I also play chess really well, so playing to opponents' weaknesses is always fun.
Yeah, I'm sure that definitely helps. So, test account. Let's see here. I need to put some mods on some of these characters. I don't think I have mods on them. Tomorrow night is when we're going to stream the actual event here. Let's just auto-assign some mods here. No, I didn't want to do that because that just stripped the mods off of... God dang it, I hate it when this is stupid. Okay. Is it going to load? Thank you. Auto-assign, include, assign mods, clear, confirm, assign. I need to level some of these up. Upgrade. Yeah, we're just going to literally just go garbage mods on all these characters, so when we do this event tomorrow, it's going to be, they're just going to be look at that, see? Stupid. I hate doing this on my test account because, of course, speed is going to hit on every mod that I level up.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, of course. I could go back to my live account or my main account and level like 70 mods, and I'd get speed to hit like once. Yeah, I'd be. Oh god, stupid.
Actually, yesterday I think I got like 4 mods that went up to 15 plus. I was like, oh my god,
Nice.
miracle!
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I was so stoked. I was like, I feel like a leprechaun rubbed his ass on me, and in the house for a good amount of time now.
Yeah, you're
Might
gonna get
have that
T-boned in the first intersection you drive
Yeah,
through.
exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, so I jump on this account like once a month because it's just so boring to play. Like I don't even want to know what would happen. Let's just see what would happen here. I'm gonna go ahead and join this Grand Arena, and I'll probably get matched up with like the other Game Changers test accounts because literally every character except, wait for it, Rose Tico, level 1. Yeah, she could eat it. Everything else, like even Ugnaught, Gear 12 plus on everything except Rose Tico. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, no! You didn't.
Oh my god! Look at all the gear they put in the store. What the hell?
Oh yeah, and the whale store tomorrow looks like it's gear heaven.
Of course.
Oh, and the regular shipments too.
Yeah, well, that's how they're gonna get their money from Malak. So can't blame them.
Yeah.
Can't blame them. Like I said, they got to make their money. So,
Think,
at any rate, yeah,
$400.
Yeah. So I gotta say thank you to the high ground for showing up, hanging out until their Skype shit the bed. Gotta get those guys out here a little bit more. Love getting their opinion. I interact with them a lot on Twitter. They're on Twitter. Let me get their Twitter handle real quick. Is at the high ground YT. So very easy to find. Go follow those guys. They are lots of fun. They've always got some fun insight. They've been doing some collabs with McMole too on Rework the Clones. So if you are interested in the clones, their opinion on all that, I'm sure they would love for you guys to swing over, watch some of their content. Like you said, they were talking about putting out new videos, talking about the Malak event and all that. So I am more than happy to plug their YouTube channel. They are a bunch of fun guys. They put out some fun content. I will probably be grabbing them tomorrow, and I think I might even have McMole 2 swinging by tomorrow night for the stream. He was doing some video editing tonight, so not able to really jump into the deep end here with us, but should be a lot of fun tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to be doing the Malak event. I can only take him to 6 stars, so unfortunately I am not going to be able to take my Malak up to 7 stars tomorrow, unless CG decides to be overly generous and send us Malak shards in our mailboxes for our test accounts. So I do have enough guild event currency that I was able to stash away to get him to 6 stars, but I would need like another 2,000, 4,000 ish, maybe 2,500 ish guild events currency, because I think it's 49,000 currency to take a character from 5 to 7 stars. So I'm a little bit short, but c'est la vie. Yeah, so we'll be able to test Malak at 6 stars. In fact, let's go ahead and go into shipments here and let us buy. I don't need that. That is slicing. Let's go ahead and buy up some of this gear so we're not having to buy it tomorrow to gear up Malak, so that when we do get that son of a gun, we can at least take him to gear 11 and have a lot of fun with him at gear 11. Approximately what time will tomorrow's stream start? It will start the same bat time, same bat channel, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be 9:30 Eastern, and I believe if you're going off of Greenwich Mean Time, 8:30 plus 5 would be 1:30 in the morning. So all you European friends are just gonna have to catch the replay or something. I don't know, or just stay up really effing late. I don't know. It's a Friday night, right? Yeah, just instead of going out and drinking, just stay in and watch Malak.
Watch Mist.
Yeah, just stay in and watch Mist. That said, we are just gonna go ahead and call this a night. I need to go upstairs. I need to go to flipping sleep. And yeah, so it's been a fantastic day here in the neighborhood. Oh, Basilisk John, look at her. Two little red things there. It's gonna level that little guy there and that little guy there. Okay, no, Basilisk John is maxed out. Okay, cool. All right, scrolling down. No little red dots. How often can you say that's ever happened to you? Never. What the hell? Oh, it's because Rose needs to be leveled. Yeah, right. Not falling for that one.
Nice try.
Nice try, CG. Not today, Isis. Not today. So, yeah. Snowstorm tonight, so I am listening now. Red Ribbon Army, I appreciate it. Swing by tomorrow, and we'll be messing around with Malak, just seeing how OP he will be. So, yep. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave this account logged in, so we'll just log right into this tomorrow and go straight into it. So, no waiting around tomorrow night, just 8:30 sharp. We are just going to go straight into Malak. So, that said, you beautiful people have a wonderful night. I love you, and I'll catch you tomorrow. How often can I say that? I'll catch you tomorrow. Adios.